You know, the thoughts are swirling all around. Hey guys, it's Jaden. Welcome back. Today we're talking about the Expanse Season 5, Episode 2, Churn. And if you haven't watched the episode, you should totally watch it. If you haven't watched the episode, you should totally watch it before this because this is not a recap. We're getting into a review. We're just totally going to just talk about it because we got to. I mean, here we go. This is obviously an episode really centered on... You know what? Okay, so mystery thought came out of nowhere. The name Churn is so important to like every single storyline of the story. Everybody's in the mix of it. Everybody's in the middle of life. Everybody is trying to really get to where they're trying to get to, right? And wow, I don't know why. I guess we'll just start. Alex as a whole. So this episode, like, Alex is always giving me this impression like he's a really nice guy, right? He, on paper and everything like that, he's a nice guy. No one ever would like question this man. Like, but then I think he thinks he's a little too big for his britches, right? Granted, I think a lot of the things that have happened to him kind of earned him this pride, weird pride that he has. Even though I think like a lot of the Martian bullshit that was initially in his mind, like in the early seasons, was like, okay, this is so undeserved. But like at this point, you know what? Walk out with your dick out. I mean, like, you are Alex, pilot of the Rocinante, savior of the soul, savior of, you know, the incident on Illis. So like, go off, my guy. Just go off. But Bobby basically led him on the whole situation, and they find Peter Burke. That's what I'm calling him. I don't know his name, but he's Peter Burke from White Collar. They find Peter Burke, and he's like a lecturer. When I tell you that lecturer, though, he got me. And that was exactly what I was talking about in my last episode, about how like something new coming into the equation breaks up the entire like homeostasis of it all. Like, I think I wrote it down. I actually wrote it down because it was actually something really good that he said. So Peter Burke basically said like every radical change changes basically the landscape, and that's literally what my whole thing. That's what the ring is. It opens up a whole new like floodgate. So like all their initial problems that they had between, you know, the OPA, Earth, Mars, all that is really small stuff when it finds out that you have even a larger thing to really figure out. So that's interesting in itself. Obviously, my guy does not trust him. I don't really care about that. I'll be honest, I like Alex enough to really care about his storyline because he's Alex. But in terms of substance, Bobby, that's where it's at right here in terms of the Mars person who actually has like the good story. I would love Alex to talk to his wife and child, but like, you know, it's gonna happen. We don't know. But what we do know is that Bobby, I was jealous. She had them Bowflex dumbbells, and I was just like, if only I could find them. Why is it still so hard to find dumbbells? It's December. Why is it so hard to find? That's pretty much Bobby and my feelings towards Bobby as a whole. You know, we don't get really any Naomi in this episode. We do get Drummer, her being a space pirate. I love the Belter language. I can't do it. Belter speak. I don't know. I can't do it. Like, but I do like the word pompa. I just love that word. But yeah, Drummer is cool. She finds Ashford's ship. Great. Don't really care. Nothing really to go there. We expect her to be basically Drummer, and she's gonna be the baddest in space. Cool. Love that for her. But Holden, you know, Bull says something earlier before we get to like Holden. My feelings towards Holden. Bull said something earlier that I think is really important, is that he says to Fred, Fred Johnson is such like the most basic name. I'm never gonna get over that. It's like everyone else got some interesting names. Your name is Fred Johnson. Hi guys, I'm Fred Johnson. I'm leader of a whole entire rebellion. What? I mean, okay. So Fred Johnson basically, they were having a cool conversation. Something that Bull said was, you know what your problem is? You think that being an underdog means that you're good. And you know what? Yes, because that is literally Fred Johnson's problem. Also, Fred Johnson thinks that his things that he has to worry about are too big for like. He thinks he's arrogant. He thinks he's at the top of the list. He's at the top of the kingdom, and that no one really can check him essentially. And maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just puts up the facade, but like he really does think the underdogs are like the good guys. And by that logic, he has to know about Marco. He has to know about like some idea of like why people don't mess with Marco, because Marco is like that break off faction in the OPA that is like, ooh, yikes, my guy. Like, so that begs the question of like, why are you not putting more seriousness towards the things that Holden is saying? And then later on, we get to this whole thing of that Monica, camera woman, she gets kidnapped. Holden has to go save her because she has knowledge on the whole thing situation. I don't know. That's a whole thing itself. I really thought she was gonna die. I mean, she was basically dead for a little bit, but I thought she was gonna die. They found the wrong container. I was like, okay, well, guess you're never gonna find out what happened. But in TV fashion, I will say that was a beautifully paced scene then, because when I tell you the death, I was like, oh well, we lost her. Holden's gonna get there, she's gonna be gone. But then, a Deus Ex, in her neck. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll be honest, none of these characters really that important. None of the episodes really that cool except for Amos, if I'm being blunt with myself. Amos had everything that was happening this episode. He slapped the crap out of this man over just asking a simple question. He found his mother-like figure. We found out that Amos was a worker of the streets, not trying to get anything. So worker of the streets. What's it called? And his mother figure Lydia had died, and we meet Charles, her husband. When they were having the conversation, I was really wondering the entire time, like, who is Charles? What is Charles? What is Charles going to do? Who's Charles? What is Charles bringing to life? Who is Lydia? Is Lydia his mother? The entire time that Amos is there, he's having visions of basically his past about, like, him and Lydia and everything like that. And he's just reconciling with the fact that, like, his mother figure is kind of gone. He ends up meeting the local drug dealer. His name is Eric. Turns out Eric is basically, like, his brother. They grew up when they were younger, essentially. But obviously, Amos had the opportunity to escape by taking on the name of Amos Burton, who's somebody who died decades ago, because Amos' real name is Timothy. Do he look like a Timothy? No, he don't look like a Timothy. He's Amos. At the beginning of the episode, I really started thinking, though, is Amos basically a lovable pansexual sociopath? And then as the episode went on, I started realizing, like, nah, this man is literally just a person who's like so numb to all the pain that's happened to his life. Like, he's gone through so much crap, so many things, so much BS that like he's just really numb to it all. He's a hard man at the end of the day. He's very, for the most part, I'd say reasonable. He knows what he wants. He's very simple, but like he's just a hard man to be around. It's just weird with everyone having their own separate stories, right? I think this is a good episode to follow up. I think this is good to ramping up the drama, especially with, so that parallel between Holden and Avasarala, I can't, like, in the episode without talking about that. Holden is the definition of, once I get out, they try and pull me back in. Like, he is the definition of it, while Avasarala is the opposite. They're trying to push Avasarala out the game, but she's trying to cling to death. She's clinging into the game, trying to be there and be in power, while Holden's just like, you know what, it's time for me to go. But he's always put in this whole hero complex that he has, and that's neither here nor there. But either way, I think this is a good episode for teeing up a lot of the drama that's going to be happening over the next couple of episodes. Really was surprised that Monica didn't die, but I really don't have any inkling idea what's going to happen. Actually, I'm going to predict this right now. I think that when the rocks with the stealth tech and everything get close to Earth, that they're going to find some way to blast them out the sky. I think Earth is going to take minimal damage. I just don't think they're going to be, oh my God, I don't think they're going to be prepared. Like, I think they're going to be prepared, but not really prepared. Because I don't think they're taking Avasarala very seriously. And I think it's going to end up hurting Gao in the long run if it becomes like a big disaster. But if it doesn't and they're able to stop most of it, then it is what it is. But I think that if Marco is not given the time to be the hype that everyone's kind of hyped him up to be, then what's the point? What is the reason? Like, if he's not as dangerous as they've basically built him up to be, and he doesn't impact and do something as dangerous as like he's been up to be, then like that's just crappy storytelling. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let's have a whole conversation in the comments below. I'm about to bring it to you as much as I possibly can. All I know is I'm gonna get to work. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.